lot of people seem to think that the Chargers will trade up, and it does make sense. When you're sitting at 17, you're kind of in no man's land. Do you go with a guard? You go with Zion? Honestly, he's the best guard in this class. But is he going to go at 17? I know a lot of people are projecting him to go in the mid 20s. He could go a little bit earlier. I'm not entirely sure. To be real with you, if they have the 17th pick, they probably should go guard and move Feller over to tackle because he played there. Well, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, that the Chargers, they do end up deciding to trade up in the draft, because I got a comment from someone in my Discord. He was like, I'll bet $100 that the Chargers trade up. And I was like, that's kind of crazy to think about, because Telesco, he's not known for doing that. Like the Chargers, they don't really typically make that sort of move. But there's a time for everything. And if they do go up to the 12th pick, you'd have to imagine that it's for one player and one player only, and that is Derek Stingley Jr. out of LSU. I would say Charles Cross. I don't think he's going to be there at 12. So if you're wondering what the Chargers would give up, they would trade the 17th pick, of course. They would also trade a second-round pick in 2023, and then they would send a fifth-round pick in 2022. This trade doesn't seem ideal at first because you're giving up a second rounder next season, a fifth this year to move up 5 spots. But then the more you think about it, there's a massive difference between Zion Johnson and Derek Stingley Jr. I mean, if Derek Stingley Jr. wasn't injured, the same thing with Jameson Williams. I mean, he would be easily a top 10 pick, maybe top 5. As a true freshman back in 2019, there was debates that he was the best player in all of college football. His tape was outstanding, and I'm willing to bet that the Chargers can tap back into the player who, once again, was the best in all of college football as a true freshman. We also know that Coach Brandon Staley praised him, put him through workouts, and was very impressed. I have no idea what the Chargers are going to do. This is a YouTube channel for fun. I know I get a couple of comments. It's like, well, how do you know what the Chargers are going to do? We don't. I don't know. I have no clue what they're going to do. But that's the fun of this YouTube channel. That's why I run the YouTube channel, man. I'm not even a Charger fan. I just like Justin Herbert, and I made a video one day about him, and it got 4,000 views. So I was like, well, I need to make more Charger videos, and it kind of just went from there. So at the end of the day, I want to see the Chargers succeed, and if they can land a superstar player in the draft, I mean, they should definitely do that. Asante Samuel was the best corner on this team last season. You go out and get J.C. Jackson, and now you can potentially pair them with Derek Stingley Jr. It's going to be very difficult for opposing offenses to move the ball down the field. The Chargers also went out and got Sebastian Joseph Day, one of the best, if not the best, nose tackles at stopping the run. Austin Johnson. They also bring in Khalil Mack, who's on the screen right there. The Chargers look great. It's not like they need Stingley or they need Jameson Williams. I mean, this team will be in the playoff hunt. It will be a Super Bowl contender, assuming that they get into the playoffs, because there is a chance that this team doesn't make the playoffs. The Raiders are, according to the odds, the worst team in the division, which is frightening to think about because the Vegas Raiders were better than the Chargers last season, and they brought in Chandler Jones. They brought in Devontae Adams. They brought in a plethora of depth. They went out and got one of the Bears' defensive tackles. I mean, the Raiders are an amazing team. I might make a video on that coming soon, but overall, I'm just being real with you. The Chargers, they definitely have the best roster, but injuries happen, man. Like, if Khalil Mack gets injured, if Keenan Allen gets injured, this team is screwed. There's not enough in this. Whoever stays healthy, to be real with you, probably wins the division. That's what it's going to come down to. As great as Justin Herbert is, I mean, he is human. He's also with Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes. You could definitely say that those are better quarterbacks than Justin Herbert. Russell Wilson, I know he didn't have the best season, but before his injury to his finger, he was a top 5 quarterback in football. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in football. And then Derek Carr is not on the level of those guys, but he's still a star player, and he's more than capable of leading a team in the division with the amount of weapons. And they went out and obviously brought a head coach and a GM who know what they're doing. So, yeah, let's talk about Derek Stingley Jr., guys. He was not good last season. He only played like 3 games. The past couple of seasons, he's dealt with injuries. He also had COVID-19. The only reason the Chargers would make this is because, well, one, Staley loves corners and he wants more corners. And 2, in 2019, Stingley had 6 interceptions and 15 passes defended. He's a long, loose, and extremely athletic corner with elite speed and ball skills that give him a chance to thrive as a bump-and-run corner capable of shadowing top talent around the field. I mean, the fact that you can have 3 playmakers on the field at all times. I mean, remember, the Chargers are going to be running mostly 5 DB sets. Well, 3 of those are, well, actually 4, Derwin James. Oh, I haven't talked about Derwin in a minute, bro. Bro, the 4, even Adderley, I haven't talked about so many things about the Chargers, dude. I don't think I've mentioned Adderley's name in like 2 months. Dude, he's a good player. Obviously, he's kind of similar to Kenneth Murray, just with the scheme and the injuries, things like that, but he's a hell player. I like Adderley a lot. Yeah, but for Stingley, I had a quote on him and how he praised Stingley, saying that he put him through workouts and he was just really impressed with this guy's motor and work ethic. And it seems like the feelings are mutual. Derek Stingley Jr. would love to be a Charger, and Brandon Staley would love to bring in Derek Stingley Jr. But the question is, will the Chargers trade a second-round pick next season and a fifth this year to move up 5 spots? I'll leave that for you guys to decide. But outside of that, this is a short video. I honestly don't have much else to add. But if you're a Charger fan, go down in the description or in the pinned comment and join our Chargers Only Discord. We're growing quick on here, man. I'm really excited to see what's next. I will be live during the NFL draft. Charger fans, I know I'm not from LA. I know I'm not a fan, but I love you guys to death, bro. I love doing this. I love the Chargers. And I can't wait to see what's next, bro, because this team is going to be fire. No matter who they take, we all know that the Chargers, they're going to make a run this season. But yeah, I'm signing out. Thunder Alley. Peace.